Okay, thank you, Hollis. I appreciate that. Uh, Seeing as that's the new year, and we're hopefully going to have a much happier new year in 2021, I thought we'd talk about competition in the home inspection business and what kind of advantages you can set up for yourself to promote yourself better and be more successful. So, based on that, there we go. We're going to talk tonight briefly about competitive advantage. We all work in markets where we're competing with other home inspectors, and that's fine. I'm more than willing to share anything I have with a fellow home inspector. But when it comes to business, we're in competition with each other, and I'm going to do my damnedest to get the job when I'm in a situation like that and promote myself so I become more successful. And I'm going to share some things with you tonight on how that can be done. So the term competitive advantage is the ability gained through attributes and resources to perform at a higher level than others in the same industry or market. Pretty commonsensical, but oftentimes overlooked. Competitive advantage occurs when a business acquires or develops an attribute or service that allows it to outperform its competition. And that's how you get the job. When you're competing with others of equal value or equal experience, you need to put yourself head and shoulders above those people in order to get the job. Otherwise, you're just another phone call in the yellow pages, so to speak. So when looking around your marketplace, who do you see? What are other home inspectors doing to acquire business, especially the successful ones? You want to keep track of that because it's going to help you promote your own business. Is it the same old stuff that's not working oftentimes? I get a lot of that in my market area, especially from people just starting out. Is it working or not? How can you distinguish yourself from others? Keep what works throughout everything else. A competitive advantage can be defined in terms of having superiority in one or more of three attributes. The first is product quality. For example, an Apple computer or a Microsoft program. Those are quality, perceived as quality programs, and that's why they charge so much, and that's why people buy them. Both offer innovative, cutting-edge products. The second is service. That's where we come in as home inspectors, because we are offering an intangible. We're offering a service which you can't hold in your hand. Amazon or most online retailers, most often convenience and depth of inventory, next day service, next day delivery. I ordered a office chair yesterday, and I got delivered this morning. That a few years ago, that was unheard of. Another example: foreign car manufacturers. Some offer extended warranties and/or free maintenance for the life of the vehicle. This is a lesson that some American car dealers are starting to latch on to. It's been happening with foreign car dealers for years now. Matter of fact, they're the ones that broke the mold for that. The third is value. Notice I'm not referring to price, as price and value are two different things and not always linked. Value relates to the satisfaction the customer receives from purchasing a product or service. If they're happy with your service, they're happy with the job you did, you can pretty much charge anything you want. It was once said, a cynic is one who knows the price of everything and the value of nothing. And that's a lot of what happens in the marketplace today. Price relates to how much it will cost to acquire a product or complete a service. We want to stay away from that. It's a factor in our business, but we want to offer value. We want to offer a unique position in our business so that people will hire us regardless of price rather than hire somebody else. An example of a competitive advantage is value. High-end cars such as Mercedes or Cadillac, they cost much more than conventional cars because they have the reputation or value. In addition, value can be related to brand image, as in the case of Sony TVs and certain companies that produce laptops. ASHI is a national brand, for example. It's recognized everywhere. This gives its members a competitive advantage over non-affiliated inspectors who are or who are in other membership categories, other membership organizations. So you need to look at your own business. We all have to do that individually and decide what it is, where you relate in relation to your other businesses around you. Because all businesses have to have a competitive mindset. Otherwise, you're not going to succeed. It's how we distinguish ourselves from others. To the public, we are all home inspectors. As a matter of fact, prior to licensing 10 years ago, people called us up and asked what our experience was. And as a result of licensing now, and that's true of a lot of states, they don't ask that anymore. Now they say, are you licensed? This is especially true with real estate agents. They call you up and say, are you licensed? That's all they want to know. You could be the worst inspector in the world, but you have a license, you get hired. So the mindset has shifted. All businesses should have some kind of competitive advantage, which allows them to be chosen over others. And you need to decide what yours is going to be. One example, of course, is low fees. You can distinguish yourself in the industry with low fees. It seems all new businesses tend to be attracted to starting out with low prices. They think they're going to get a larger piece of the pie, and they probably will. Unfortunately, what that does is it creates a market share based on low fees. There are agents out there hiring home inspectors based on what they charge, and they don't care about anything else. They want to know if you're licensed, and they want to know if you're cheap. That's not a good way to start your business, because now you're pigeonholed. Once you want to get out of that mindset, you're going to lose all those agents that are looking for low fees because you're not one of them anymore. Low fees, and that it does not develop customer quality or attract the kinds of customers who will appreciate the benefits you have to offer. I can't tell you how many customers I have, how many clients I have over the years. I've been doing this a long time, that call me up and they don't even ask what the cost is. They don't care. They're hiring me because of my experience. They're hiring me because I've done a job for them and they really liked it. They liked the result of it. And now they don't care. Repeat customers. They're the best customers to have because there is no fee conversation. Whatever I charge is okay with them. Not very many people can say that. In order for an advantage to be effective, it has to have the following. It must be positive for the customer. In other words, a good experience. If they had a bad experience, they're not going to call you back. Must have a good experience, positive for the customer, and it must be simple to articulate that. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means when you're doing the inspection, not only does your report have to be clear and concise, which a lot of report formats out there, boys and girls, are not. They're terrible. I can't tell you how many. I'm involved with some attorneys right now on a home inspection in St. Petersburg. That's out of my market, but they call me, and I got a copy of the report of the home inspector who did the job, and it's terrible. It's a checklist. It doesn't say anything in it of any value. So you need to be able to articulate what you're talking about verbally. When you're talking to your clients face to face and you're doing your wrap up at the end, you need to articulate what it is you found and why it's important and what they need to do about it. And you need to convey that also into the report itself in written format. Those are the two items that are going to make you successful or not. Those are the two items that are going to say, we want you to do another house for us. For it to work, it must be communicated to your customers and done repeatedly that way. That includes in your advertising as well. Don't be afraid to ask for business via referrals. I ask for business all the time. I'm giving out so many cards during an inspection, you wouldn't believe it. Everybody gets a card because they might call me back. That's how I get business. Make sure you have a competitive advantage and be able to communicate it to your customers. If not, then it all fall back on price. Back when I was first starting out in the business, I'd be working on one day and I'd stop for lunch and I might have to wait in line because the restaurant was busy. So what I would do, instead of sitting there waiting for a table, I'd walk around the dining room and give out my cards to total strangers. Was it weird? Sure. But I might get 1 or 2 jobs out of it. I did that for many, many years. I'm not suggesting you do that. I'm just using it as an example of how you can communicate to everybody. It doesn't cost you anything except some time. As home inspectors, we're not selling a product. We sell a service, which is an intangible. An intangible can't be held in your hand or placed on the counter or put in a bag for a customer to see and walk out the door with. We sell our knowledge and our experience, our expertise. We sell information. We sell a service. That's a lot more difficult to sell than something you can hold in your hand, like a carburetor or groceries. You can generally observe a lot just by watching. Yogi Berra. Any questions?